Namaste, y'all. How are you? I send you blessings and love to all of you, and I hope that you are doing well in these very challenging times here. And I normally would say stuff like here in town or here in the United States, but now the world is so weird. I wish you love and light, and I hope everybody's doing well no matter what country you're in. How's that? Okay, I wish for you love and light in your country and here as well, okay, to all the peeps. Welcome to the Universal Energies, where we focus on guiding people into the love and light and communication through resilience, strength, and glitter. Okay, we're trying to spread the love into the world during these challenging times to alleviate stress from the people. And I heard something the other day that was really great. Remember, in the evolution of humanity over time, we have gone through some really awful times in history, and this is just one of them. So don't think, we are one of many, but we need to learn from our past and how did we fix it then and what do we need to do now and things like that, okay? But that's a political thing. That's not what this video is for. This video is for grounding. Previous video, Princess Mocha put it on there, circle of control. This is one of those things that we can control. Limiting our stress, the nerves in our body, okay? Okay, I'm gonna be cash with this video. It might go longer than I expected. Enjoy your coffee. Texas Paul on YouTube, he says, I hope you enjoy your coffee even more than me. And I agree. I hope you enjoy your coffee even more than me. This video is for grounding, and grounding, just to let you know by definition, let me read it. A wellness practice involving direct contact with the earth's surface. So taking a walk in the woods, going and sitting by a lake, doing whatever outside in the earth, taking a walk, breathing the air, getting near water, listening to waterfalls, all of that is actually very good for you, and it grounds you and it alleviates your stress. It lowers your blood pressure, and it also stops you from thinking in the current moment about crisis. It gives your brain a minute to breathe. Okay, that's what we all need, is to take a minute to breathe. Like, I've noticed a bunch of my YouTube channels, I used to turn to them to find out information, and it helped me be calm. Well, of late, when I turn it on, they're so angry and stressed out, it's not helping me at all. And I'm like, okay, but I'm educated in this and I'm aware of what's going on, and you're freaking me out. So what are you doing to these people who don't really know what's going on yet? Okay, you need to slow your roll, y'all. But what can we do? What can we control? We can control, what did Mocha and I decide? We can help other people. Like, we can't do a whole lot right now, like governmentally. But we can help our community, and we can help other people, and so can you in your communities, okay? But before we help others, we have to make sure that we're okay, that we're calm, and that we're focused, okay? And as positive as you can be, okay? Now, remember, grounding, and you're like, Kim, go outside? What are you talking about? Either I have anxiety and I don't go outside, or I'm disabled and I can't go outside, or whatever. Or like, last week it was 150 degrees outside. I mean, who's gonna go outside, right? So what I've done in my little world is I have developed a practice of grounding, through addiction to plants, I have to be honest with you, is taking care of houseplants. Now, I wanted to show you, I guess I can turn this around, but I won't be able to see. Hang on. Well, no, don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll send Mocha a picture of all of the plants in front of me, and you can see what I'm talking about. But it's funny, when I set up the camera here, I actually said, okay, I'm going to put the table here, and then I'll show you me working in the soil. Well, this plant right here I'm very proud of, but I think of it as a little plant, okay? So I thought, see where the camera is? Okay, let me show you. I need to put this beside me so that we can do what I intend to do here. Welcome to my house. Okay. This plant is a little plant. And if you'll notice, I'm sitting in a chair. It's on a table. Okay, this is one of my little plants, and we're going to take care of him. And I'm going to show you how to tend to him. But if you'll notice, okay, what do I want you to see? This plant, do you see how the leaves, like, the wind could blow? He's just so strong. And you see how the leaves are shiny? Okay, the reason why I believe is because I've been loving him so hard, okay? Like, I take care of his leaves, and we're gonna do that in a second, but I'm gonna show you another plant we're gonna do it with more. And then I'll do stuff when I'm done with the video. But I wanted you to see, like, how healthy this little plant is. Now, remember, I had my camera set to go down here on the table. The plant's a little bigger than that. And then the funny thing was the original video was going to be on the table, but the plant that I was going to use, which I'm going to use, so I'm going to put this on the ground. Okay. And the cats better not hurt it. This is the one I wanted to work on. And it was an example of what happens when you love your plants. Now you're like, Kim, that doesn't look a lot. But if you'll notice, I have this turned around the other way because I want to show you something. This is what happens. And see, I had to set the camera up here. But this pot is that big. Okay, we're talking a very large pot. Okay. Here you go. Now let me show you something. You ready? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you guys, look there. This is what happens when you focus on your plants and you get away from the negativity of the world. They respond like crazy. And I want to show you an example in case you click off before I clean them and tend to them. There was a plant that I had. It was a baby that I had put in another pot. I've been trying to grow this thing forever, and for some reason it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. But a couple of weeks ago, I really focused on this grounding thing and talking to the plants and actually like cleaning them, taking care of that. I'm going to show you how to aerate the soil. I mean, everything. Just love and devotion and concentration, focus in the moment of taking care of them. So here's my plant, and I have to show you. So these two leaves, it just wouldn't do anything. I even put a stake in there because this is a vine-ish plant. And I thought, okay, you want to climb maybe, so I'll give you purpose and you can climb. Nope, never did climb. But because I've been grounding in my plants and loving my plants, look, we have a baby. Okay, y'all, really ground yourself, grow you some plants, do your thing. Now, Mocha's probably going to turn this off at 10 minutes, but I'm not sure. But it's going to be longer than 10 minutes, but we'll see. So if that is it, we got 20 seconds left. That's not going to work for what I want to do. So we can do another video at another time for the 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to tilt this back towards me a little. because you'll understand, this is the part of the plant that's actually sticking out of the pot. So there's so much plant. So I'm just gonna let you know. We have some babies growing, but I'm not sure. They seem to be withering, but I did move it rooms. Okay, because it's so big. I did move it rooms. So what do I have to tell you? Make sure that your plants can see the sun. Like, no matter where they are. Can you sit where they are and look out your window and see the sky? Then you're cool. Okay, no matter what angle. Now I know there's better angles for plants, but like me, I live in an apartment and the sun comes up on the side with the windows, and by noon it's over the building, so I don't get any afternoon sun, I don't get any of that. So I have to use plant lights and stuff like that, and everything is near the window. But for these guys right here, just make sure that they're paying attention. And these plants are really good. Like if you're bad at plants, these are good because they'll go to the sun. Like I move them because they'll start talking to the sun. And so I move them around so that they grow in a pretty way. But again, that's part of grounding, is what I'm doing, is just focusing on the plant in that moment. And I can get lost in my plants. I can start with one and just think, okay. And then 4 hours later, I'm like, so if you want to find something to focus on other than the stress of the world or whatever situation you got going on in your life, think about a house plant. And I know that you're probably not going to be like me because I'm crazy and I've got like 30 plants in here. I've got them in the other room and in this room. Just one. If that's all you can handle, just one. And remember, you might, like I've had death here. Just know that. Not all plants live, you know, they could have gotten a virus, or they just are old, or they're just not happy, or whatever. Find you a variety. Like I don't have any flower plants other than my Christmas cactus, but they're not really a flower, kind of, for the most part. I only do green because it lives for me. Okay, so what do? I told you, sun. I talk to them and I touch them and I tell them how beautiful they are and that I'm proud of them and that I love them. And there's a reason for that. First of all, you could say, oh my God, Kim, you have lost your mind, hippie style. Probably it's where I came from. However, there's also a scientific reason. Like our breath, the yucky part that we breathe out, is actually the part that the plant likes. And the part that the plant doesn't like and breathes back out is actually the part we breathe. So sitting close to the plant, talking to the plant, doing its leaves, we're actually exchanging great air. So just like going outside will get you great air, planting will get you great air as well. You know, and all these things, you're not gonna like feel right away, but like the focus, the getting lost, the taking care of something else, all of that is good karma. All of that is good love. And it's the way it's supposed to be. Now, my water, by the way, this is the coolest tool. I know that it's a root cutter. Like my mother taught me this for gardening. It's a root cutter. But not only can it be a root cutter, but it can be an aerator to make sure your plants, because remember, if you water it and walk away and water it and walk away and water it, that soil is being compressed. Well, then the little roots can't breathe. Your little being, it can't breathe. So what you want to do is, Sarah, I need to show the peeps. Okay, we're going to turn this around. I'm just going to stick this down in the soil and make sure that there's, like, it can go down. See, like, see how far down I'm going? Like, I'm way far down. Okay, because my plants, I want them to have lots of air to breathe. And as you'll notice, what am I doing right now? I'm in the soil. Okay, there is a reason I'm telling you this. Okay, I'm in the soil to tend to my plant in my best nerdy way. It forces me, or causes me, not forces, causes me to be in the dirt, which is the goal of grounding, is to touch the earth's surface. Now, I know it really wouldn't work if it was just a bucket of dirt in here. Okay, the reason why this works, you're like, Kim, you're not touching the earth, you're touching your plant in a pot. I am, but it's the plant that I'm grounding with. Okay, do you understand? Yes, there's dirt involved. I'm involved, my air's involved, like I'm doing my thing. However, it's not that I have to be outside. That was the point to this. Then also I water. Make sure that if you do water your plants, you don't overwater them. You can love them too much if you start this process, which I did, which I told you I've had some plants die. I think a few of those was because of that. I watered them so much, I wanted them to be so happy that I think I kept their soil too wet and it rotted them and they died. So what you want to do is make sure that, like, when you water them, like, now it's time for me to water these. Okay, but you see, they're not hurting. Okay? The key is like to your knuckle, to your second knuckle, down. If it's dry that far, it's time to water them. Okay? Now, if you have a house plant, which I thought I did, you can just water them till they pee. These guys are so big and they're in such big pots. I even have bigger ones over there that are in huge pots. There's no way you're gonna strain that or whatever. So make sure that in there, like one of my pots has huge rocks in it. And the rocks are to give it more filter. So yes, it's a huge pot. Yes, it has a tree in it. Yes, it's got soil in it. But the bottom half of that big pot is rocks, which is why it's going to be terrible if I have to move. But anyway, it's got lots of filter in there for the water. So the roots aren't sitting in water. That's what you don't want. You want it to be able to drain. So even though these around here have big pots, they all have ways to strain the water out. So don't let your plant sit in water. I mean, it's just like your hands. When you're in the tub too long or you wash dishes too long, your fingers get all yucky. That's exactly the same way. Sammy, my cats have decided that. And you wouldn't realize I have a full-grown cat right here on this table, but the plant is so big, you can't really tell. I think that is so funny. I just wanted to show you some house plants, but my house plants are obnoxious. Okay, so we talked about watering, we talked about the sun, we talked about aerating the soil. See how long, now I know I've been talking, but see how long we can spend on just one plant. So if you're really stressed out, and remember, the plant doesn't mind, and you're like, Kim, but I'm so stressed out, I don't want the plant to be stressed out. See, this leaf needs to go. This leaf is damaged, so he has to go. Because there's no point in the plant giving energy to this if it's just gonna continue, you know. Look, and it's all the way up at the top too. See, it got damaged. So, it's gone and it'll be fine. Okay, so we talked about all of that. We talked about that. Now, I do have water here, but I'm gonna wait to water till we go because we talked about it already. But I do something to my plants. I have cats and cat litter, which causes dust in the house, and then normal dust. Like I have the window cracked, so there's, in the spring, there was stuff, you know. Make sure that just to spend time with them, you're cleaning them off. And this is just water, okay, on a rag, on a clean rag. And I'm just watering them. And that just cleans them off so that they can breathe better. Now remember, the goal to grounding is just, other than loving your plants, okay, because I do so vary, it's to give you a way to calm your nerves, okay? So take all the time you want to do this. It's totally fine. Or, you know, if it's a ritual for you, I mean, you probably wouldn't have as many plants as I would, because the ritual would make you crazy, okay, because there's so many. Remember, by giving love to something, that's good, okay, and we want to put good out into the world to counteract all of the negative. So we want to, by giving love to something, it's good. It's also good knowing that your plant is benefiting from and loves what you're doing. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, so you doing it is good. Them appreciating it, you doing it, is good. And like I said, it gives your brain and nerves a calming, rejuvenating break from the stresses of the normal day world in our 3D world. Okay, now, just as a sub note, and boy, we've gone way over the 10 minutes, huh? But all this is together. When you're in crisis, your body automatically goes into fight, flight, or freeze mode, period. And nothing gets done. You stress yourself out, you freak out and leave, or make some irrational decision, or you lock yourself in and you freeze up. Okay, well, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. We need to calm our nerves. We need to know that things are stressful, because they are. And then say, okay, and how am I going to handle this? I can do things out in the world, good, but you have to take care of you. Okay, so our universal energies, we want you to feel love and light. We want you to learn to calm down and to breathe, okay, and to be able to handle what comes at us, because we'll be prepared for it, okay, and we'll be strong enough to handle it, okay. Know what you can control and what you can't. Previous video on the circle of control, very, very important to do that. Okay, that's a lesson Mocha and I have talked about. I absolutely loved it. She brought it up 10 years ago in a Rainbow Support Group meeting, and we have talked about it every year since then, no matter what we're doing or who we're talking to, because that seems to be like literally the key to stress in the world, period, point blank. Okay, and I guess that's it, y'all. Okay, I wish for you guys a beautiful, blessed day, and we will have more videos up soon. And please know that me and the plants say namaste to y'all. Okay, y'all, stay positive. See you soon.